Do you have strainers laying around that you wish were bowls? You should try FLEAX Seal. With its thick rubberized coating that adheres to any material, self-levels, seals any cracks or holes. It's exactly what you need to turn any strainer into a bowl. What about a cardboard box? Have you ever had a cardboard box that you wanted to turn into a watertight container? Then FLEAX Seal is just for you. With its easy to apply rubberized coating, anyone can turn a cardboard box of any size into a waterproof container in just seconds. All right guys, the FLEAX Seal on both of our strainers and our box are all dry. Now we just need to test them and make sure they hold water, like in the commercial. This one holds water, no problem. This one, no problem. And even our box, no problem. But something else that I did was I sprayed the FLEAX Seal on one sheet of cardboard, just one layer, and I noticed that it added a lot of strength to just this one piece of cardboard for one layer. So I want to take something fragile like an egg, and I want to coat this in FLEAX Seal and see how much strength it adds. We all know what happens to a normal egg if you just drop it on the ground. And I'm really curious to see if I spray a thick layer of FLEAX Seal on an egg, if I can drop it without it breaking. Okay, I do have all 3 of the eggs, all coated in 3 coats of FLEAX Seal. They do feel more sturdy than just a regular egg. The only thing left to do now is to drop them and see if they break. All right, here we go. Here's our first egg. Oh, you can see it still broke. So our first one still broke, no problem. Let's try number 2. Same thing. Number 3 will go a little bit closer to the ground. No, even being closer to the ground, it still broke. So FLEAX Seal does not add protection to eggs. Alright guys, it's time for the 3rd and final test. In the commercial, you saw Phil Swift stab his bucket a couple times with a small knife and put a couple gashes in it and little things here and there, but he did not cut it in half with a katana. So I'm going to cut this bucket in half with this katana, then we're going to see if FLEAX Seal can put it back together. That's a pretty good gash. Alright, as you can see, our bucket is pretty much tore in half thanks to our katana. Now I'm going to FLEAX Seal it back together. Alright guys, I have this bucket suspended now, and I'm just going to take small pieces of tape and just put them just put 1 or 2 on each side to kind of hold it together while I spray it with the FLEAX Seal. And then once the FLEAX Seal dries, we'll fill it with water and see if it holds. Alright guys, here is our bucket that we cut in half with the katana. It's had multiple coats, it's had over 30 hours to dry. The can of FLEAX Seal says it takes 24 hours to dry. I don't feel very hopeful for this test since this is such an extreme case. The bucket feels really flimsy, but we're going to test it and see if it holds water anyway. As you can see, it is doing better than I expected. That is a pretty small leak for for the bucket being cut in half. If I used even more layers and took even more time, I'm sure it probably could work where it would hold water again. So what we learned is Flex Seal actually is a pretty good product. It does what it's made to do. Just don't cut your buckets in half with a katana. Thank you guys for watching all these crazy videos I make. All right, Phil, let's see what you've done now.
The super strong waterproof tape
No.
that can instantly patch, bond, seal, and repair. Flex tape is no ordinary tape.
Its triple thick adhesive virtually welds itself to the surface, instantly stopping the toughest leaks.
Leaky pipes can cause major damage.
But Flex tape grips on tight and bonds instantly.
Plus, Flex tape's powerful adhesive is so strong,
No, there is no way it works underwater.
it even works underwater.
No. Alright guys, if you saw my last video, I tested Flex Glue. Now I'm going to test Flex Tape. The things I want to know if it'll really lift 45 pounds. I want to know if it can hold pressure. I want to know if it'll really work underwater. And then I'm going to saw something in half and see if it can put it back together. Alright guys, this is going to be my first test. See if it can lift 45 pounds. In the commercial, you can see they lifted a 45-pound plate straight up with it. So I have my 45-pound plate here. I have my length of Flex tape. And I'm just going to stick this right here on the edge of the plate. And we're going to stand this up. And it does in fact lift 45 pounds. Now it doesn't sound like it's going to stay there for very long. It's going to stretch and stretch and stretch and eventually fall off. But it does in fact lift 45 pounds. I am thoroughly impressed with that first test. Alright guys, I have this bucket full of water. I have my hand covering an 1.5 inch hole in the bucket. And I'm going to slap this on here and see if it works just like the commercial. Yeah, that works, and I don't think there's any leaks. I just wanted to bring you guys just a little bit closer. You can see the outline of the hole right here, and then you can see that there's no leaks. Well, actually now it's starting to leak a little bit. You can see it's starting to leak a little bit there. So it does work. I just don't know if I would have this as a permanent fix or a very long-term fix. You can see it's leaking there. So it's not perfect, but definitely impressive. Alright guys, same bucket, second test. I have my hand covering the hole, but I'm going to go from the inside and see if it'll stick to the inside of the bucket. You can see that it stopped it. If you look real close, you can also see that it leaks. I don't know if you can see that. You can tell right here where it kind of bubbles up that it is leaking a little bit. But nonetheless, if you had a catastrophic leak in something and you could reduce it down to that would still be an amazing fix. Alright guys, Flex tape has done extremely well so far, but now we're going to test it under pressure. I have this piece of water hose with this little valve on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a bunch of holes in this hose, probably 5 holes in this hose, and then flex tape over them with the water running, and then I will cut the water off and let the pressure build up and see if it holds. Alright, I've got the water turned off now. I'm just gonna one. Alright, that is 5 holes, front and back. I have my piece of flex tape here. What we're going to do is just put it on there like this. And then wrap it around. And now we'll turn the water back on, and I'll shut this valve off and we'll let it build pressure and see if it can hold. Alright, I have the water hose right here turned on. I'm just going to shut this valve off. No, it can't hold pressure. This whole thing just fills up with water. Yeah, it's not very good at holding pressure. Alright, I'm sure you can see what's about to happen. I'm about to cause a whole lot of damage. Phil sawed a boat in half. I'm going to saw this barrel in half. Sorry guys, my camera cut off, but this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're looking at. It's all cut in half. We're gonna put it back together with flex tape and see if it holds. Alright, as you saw before, this is what we have to work with. This barrel is completely sawed in half. I'm gonna do my best to put it back together with flex tape, and then we are going to fill it up with water and see if it holds water. Alright, here's the first piece. Oh. The last piece Gonna put this last one on top. Alright, here we go. You can see it is flex sealed all the way around. Now we'll fill it with water and see if it holds water. Alright guys, I have the barrel here that has been cut and flex taped back together. I have the water hose. I'm going to start filling it up and we'll see if it holds water. Well, you can tell we have our first leak coming from over there. It's not that bad. I don't think it's leaking anywhere else. So maybe as it fills up, it might still fill up and hold water, which would be really impressive. All right, we have sprung another leak over on this side. I don't know if this is gonna be able to handle the pressure from a whole barrel of water. But it's probably a quarter of the way full. Still leaking a little bit. As long as this barrel can get full to the top, to where the water is coming out of the top, and it hasn't failed catastrophically, I will be thoroughly impressed. Well, I think this right here is going to be our failure point. This is the second time that this has failed. I'm gonna get another piece of tape and stick it right there. All right, I have another piece here. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. That's just too much pressure. And you can see in the same spot on this other side, it's starting to fail. I don't know if this is gonna work. All right guys, this barrel's leaking water out faster than what's going into it. So it's kind of upsetting that that didn't work. Although it did work better than I expected. That's all I have for you guys. Leave a comment down below and tell me what you'd like to see me test in my next video. Thank you for watching.
Wood, glass, tile, and metal, Flex Glue is so strong, it even works underwater.
So you're telling me there's a glue that works underwater? See if this stuff works. Seems to work pretty good. After I saw the commercial for Flex Glue, there's two things I wanted to know. One, I wanted to know if it would really work underwater, and as you can see, it did. 2, in the commercial it said they could hold up to 1,000 pounds. So I want to test that out. So I have 12 bricks here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put flex glue on all the bricks, and I'm going to sandwich them together in a stack. I'm going to let it dry for 24 hours, and then I'm going to turn the stack on its side, and then I'm going to put weights in the middle of the stack to see how much weight it can hold before it finally breaks. Alright, now whenever I start applying the flex glue to these bricks, I'm going to put 2 lines of glue on each brick. I want to do a total of 3 lines of glue on each brick, but I'm not sure that I'm going to have enough with just 1 tube. This is all I have. So I'm going to put 2 on each brick first, and then if I have enough, I'll add a 3rd, and we'll stack them up and put weights on top of them and let them dry. So I have all my bricks here. I did have just barely enough glue to put 3 lines of glue on each brick. So now we're going to start putting them in a stack. Stack them all comfortably. Seems to be straight. Alright guys, this is the finished product. I have all 12 bricks stacked up. I have a 25-pound plate on top of the bricks to keep pressure on them while they dry. And we will be back in 24 hours to test this. Alright guys, it's the next day. It's been about 30 hours. So the flex glue has had plenty of time to dry between our bricks. And I can tell you just from picking this thing up that it's way stronger than what I had originally thought. Just the flex glue between these top 2 bricks can hold the weight of the rest of them, and it doesn't feel like it's loose or coming apart or flexing in any way. I really think this is going to perform way better than what I thought, and I have very high expectations for how much weight this is going to hold before it collapses. Alright guys, here's my plan. I have the bricks, I have 2 cinder blocks on either side, and I'm just going to set these across the cinder blocks like that. Then I'm going to take these 2 4x4s and set them in the middle so I can put the weights on it, and it'll keep the pressure in the middle of the bricks. So we're going to start off 45 pounds. £90. So far so good. This is going to be 125. 150. 175. 200. So looks like it's doing good. 225. 235. 245. 255. 265. 270. 275. 280? I really didn't think it was gonna hold up to all that. All right. I have another 40 pounds. So that's 320 pounds. And it doesn't even look like it's flexed or giving out at all. I don't know if I have anything else I can add. All right, so the only heavy thing I have left is me. I'm 230 pounds. So me on top of all this will be 550 pounds. So guess I'm just gonna sit on top of this. So that's 550 pounds. Still holding up, no problem. Alright guys, I'm thoroughly impressed with this stuff, that it can hold this much weight and not break apart like I thought it would. If you have any other suggestions on what I should do to test this, or anything else I should test, just leave a comment below. Give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. I put out a video once a week, every Saturday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh boy, do I have a good one for you today. If you're watching this video the day that it's posted, it is actually my birthday. So leave a comment down below. How old do you think I am? And in today's video, we will be testing FLEAX Shot, since we've tested every other FLEAX product. But you guys know I like lots of destruction, so you can see I have my 5-gallon bucket full of water, and I bought a new sword. So obviously I'm going to cut this bucket in half, and then we're going to put it back together with FLEAX Shot. Alright, so here we go. We're going to try to cut this bucket right in half. Well, that worked way better than I expected. We have our bucket cut right in half. Now we're gonna FLEAX Shot it back together. All right guys, here we have our bucket that we cut in half with our sword. My plan is I'm just going to set this top half on top of this bottom half, and then I'm gonna use some tape, and I'm gonna put tape on the inside just to hold it in place. And then I'm just gonna take the FLEAX Shot and go around the whole outside, and then we will let it dry, and then we will see if it functions like a normal bucket. Alright guys, we have our bucket. We sealed it all the way around from our sword cut. It's dried for 24 hours. Now we're going to fill it full of water and see if it leaks. And now our bucket is full, and you can see we do have quite a few leaks. We have one there, We have a big one over here. And then we have one right here. So far this isn't looking very good. It could have been me, but I'm going to blame the flex shot. So I was actually pretty impressed with the flex shot and how it performed on this bucket that was cut completely in half. But in the commercial, it does say that it is a super strong adhesive, and I found that to not be so true when I tried to move the bucket. And whenever you try to pick it up, you can see over here, the water just leaks right out of the bucket. So last time I cut a bucket in half, this is the same story. Don't cut your buckets in half. All right, that's all I have for you today. In the comments below, leave a comment of how many rolls of duct tape do you think I'm using in my next video, and whoever gets it right, I will pin their comment.